Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Friday, July 25th, middle of the off-season. Summer League is over, and the season's still a couple months away, but we're here ready to talk the latest Celtics. How you doing, Sam?
Doing good. We actually have a fair amount to talk about today. There's actually been maybe the most Celtics related, Celtics adjacent news.
I was going to say Celtics related is a huge stretch
Celtics
by you.
adjacent news.
Not a single person we are talking about on the sheet is actually on the Celtics. And you said we have a lot to talk about.
We do.
That
we
is,
have a lot that you guys stick around through all of it.
That is some
It's gonna be a
grade
fun show.
A filibuster.
We will be talking about where the Celtics stack up amongst other Eastern Conference teams because somebody else has made a list, and we're going to react to the list and give our takes on where we think they rank. We will talk about just some player movement around the NBA, some former Celtics bouncing around, finding new homes, getting evicted, and so on. Certain familiar face will be part of some national broadcasts. Tough for the national basketball community, but that's how it is. We'll do your emails. We'll go around the NBA, just a little update on a situation Celtics fans should be monitoring. Then we'll do the rat list and get up out of here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Subscribe to the channel. We are here every single day with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the morning after each game, and other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. But without further ado, we will get into it. Jack, go ahead.
Yeah. We can start with Michael Pina. Put out a list of where he thinks teams in this Eastern Conference rank, and we're going to take a look. So he broke it up into tiers. Let me share my screen here. He said, here's how I organized the East 15 teams into 6 different tiers. First tier was can plausibly make the NBA Finals. Second tier was the People's Champion. Third tier was the middle class with puncher's chance. Fourth tier was play-in bound. Fifth tier was a gap year from hell. Sixth tier was happy to fail. And I'll let you guess what team or tier you think the Celtics were in. Gap year from hell, he ranked them 12th overall in the Eastern Conference. The only teams he ranked worse than the Celtics are the Wizards, Hornets, and Nets. For audio listeners, his rankings, first tier was plausibly make the finals, Cavs, Magic, Knicks. The People's Champion, second tier was Atlanta Hawks. The middle class with a puncher's chance, third tier was Pistons, Heat, Sixers, Raptors. Fourth tier, play-in bound, Bucks, Bulls. Fifth tier, gap year from hell, Pacers, Celtics. Then happy to fail, sixth tier, Wizards, Hornets, Nets. And that's how he ranked them. I don't actually have too many huge problems with this list. I do think it underrates the Celtics a little bit based on what I personally think they can accomplish. I think it overrates a couple teams. But generally, I think that this is a fair list, and I understand why he put teams where he put them.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Atlanta is appropriately ranked, but maybe they should be in the first tier. Maybe they're a tier below just because it's like, we'll see if everybody's healthy when the playoffs roll around, and that's the kind of thing that is separating them from, Cleveland, Orlando, New York. But I think they're going to be really good this year. Like, I like them. I think they made a lot of good moves. They're getting guys back from injury this year. When Jalen Johnson was playing for the Hawks last year, they were far better than when he was off the court, which was the second half of the season.
Yeah, I get it. I understand why it's below, because you're talking about 3 teams who are legitimate playoff teams that probably improved since last year versus a team that's been in the play-in for the last 3 years and added Kristaps and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Don't get me wrong, I love their offseason, but I understand why they're not higher up. Like, it's not like they've been a playoff team and added all those pieces. They have not been able to be a playoff team.
Yes. And I think the Porzingis addition really will help Trae Young a lot. Like, I think the two of them will play really well off each other. Porzingis, versatile in the screen game, whether he's rolling or popping, which is good. Gives him an option as the ball handler. I think Alexander Walker is a good rotation piece to just kind of join into their defensive conglomerate. Like with Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, now you also have NAW in there to wreak havoc off the bench. Like that's a good signing for them. Risha Shea, second year, maybe takes a little bit of a jump. What if he's good?
Don't get me wrong. I love the
Hawks.
Hawks.
A good end to the season.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted. Like, I love the Hawks. I think they're going to be very good. I think they definitely do have a chance. I understand why they're below the 3 teams they're below.
I think a lot of, like, as much as they did make moves this summer that are great moves, the thing people are not thinking about as much as the internal development. Like, Daniel's still relatively young. Johnson's still relatively young. I mean, Shea is going to be a sophomore player this year. Like, those guys have room to improve on their own, and they were rotation pieces last year. But we don't need to talk about the Hawks the entire time. Going down the list, I think Detroit is maybe, I hate to say it, a little too high. Like, I really don't like their offseason. I loved them last year. I thought they had a lot of good moves.
You don't like their offseason?
No, I just think like they didn't really. They lost Beasley. They lost Tim Hardaway Jr. They had Duncan Robinson, who's fine.
Yeah, it wasn't really their fault.
No, it wasn't. Like they got probably like next to Boston, Indiana, the shaft more than anybody.
I think they upgraded from Hardaway Jr. though. I think LeVert's better than him right now.
LeVert's a good get. I think they really.
They're going to miss Beasley.
I think the comparison should actually be Beasley to LeVert, Robinson to Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah,
Beasley was like right behind Pritchard as six-man candidate. If that was a bigger market, he would have been talked about more.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I don't love their offseason either. Like, I don't think it was groundbreaking, but I don't hate it. And I also think getting Ivy back is going to be huge for them.
Yes.
I think the internal development side of things is going to be huge for them with Asar Thompson, Ron Holland, everybody over there.
Yep.
Cade, obviously. Miami's way too high for me. 6 is insane. I don't know why Miami is 6. They got embarrassed in the first round last year. They made no changes this summer. If the development of Khalil Ware and some of their other internal guys is enough to bring them from a play-in team that got literally blown out by an average of 20 points in the first round to the 6th seed in the East. I don't get that. I think the Sixers should be higher than them. I think the Raptors should be higher than them. I think the Celtics and Pacers should be higher than them. I don't. The Heat being in that puncher's chance tier, maybe it's a respect thing because of Spoelstra and what they've done in the past. I think they're too high. Sixers, Raptors, I understand. I think the Pacers and the Celtics should both be above the Bucks and the Bulls, though. I think those tiers should be flipped. And then I think the Heat should be way lower.
I think, Miami at the very, I don't know if I feel as strongly about Miami as you do, but I don't think they're very good. Like, I don't think they're better than Philly. I'm like, granted, Paul George just had to have another surgery, and we don't know what's going on with Embiid. I'm high on Philly this year. Like, I think Philly should be at the top of this third tier. If I'm a Sixers fan, this is the best I've felt about my chances in the East in years.
Yeah, I disagree. I mean,
There's
Embiid
a lot of variables.
Embiid hasn't even done on-court work yet. He still hasn't progressed to doing significant on-court work yet. And Paul George just had another surgery that's going to keep him out indefinitely.
Still a lot of time. 3 months.
that's horrendous. It's
not ideal.
I've started looking at the
sure.
Sixers as McCain, Maxey, Edgecombe, with maybe you get Embiid for a piece of the season, and then Paul George is just gonna hold them back. Like that. That's how I've started to view the Sixers, and I still think that's better than the Heat because the Heat are not good, but I don't trust them. I put it this way: if I had to re-rank the the third tier, middle class puncher's chance, only those teams, right? Like, I'm not moving any teams above them. I'm not moving any teams below them. I would rank that tier probably Pistons, Raptors, Sixers, Heat. Maybe Pistons, Sixers, Raptors, Heat. But I cannot bet on Philly anymore. They have shown me nothing over the past 5+ years in terms of staying healthy or actually being a competitive team to put them any higher than where they are on the list.
Yeah, and with the history of 7-foot guys in the NBA, it doesn't really get better when you hit a 10-year span of being in the league, right? Like Embiid, I was watching highlights because I was looking at Ben Simmons as a Celtics fit, and I was like, let me just watch the Game 7 against Atlanta when he had the meltdown. Embiid looks like a completely different person. He's so much slimmer, looks like trim and cut, looks in good shape. Thinking about what he looks like now, what he's looked like in the last couple seasons, even when he was an MVP, he looks like he's just so much heavier. And the amount of stress that probably puts on all his joints is not helping.
That's true. When Embiid is on the court, he might be the best player in the NBA. Better than Jokic. He is that good because of his defense. Yes, I'm so serious.
I don't know if he's better than Jokic.
He's not better than Jokic. When he is healthy, if Joel Embiid had 0 injury problems, he might be better than Jokic. Like, he's that good because he's not just probably like on the court the most dominant post player since Shaquille O'Neal. Like, he's the most dominant. Like, he just is. He can also shoot the three. He can also take mid-range jumpers. He is also maybe a top 3 defender in the NBA when he is healthy and on the court. Like, I think we've been so far from removed, like, and rightfully so, from actually seeing that version of Joel Embiid because he never fucking plays, unfortunately. But when he is on the court, he is one of, like, that MVP season. I think people are like, whatever, who cares? Like, he was gifted it because Jokic wasn't there. He was like that 3-year stretch of Embiid being insane. He averaged 33, 10, and 4 with almost 2 blocks a game and a steal a game. And then the year before he averaged 50, 37 splits on 31, 12, and 4 with a steal and a block and a half. Like, he is incredible, but he's just never on the court. And so I can't trust the Sixers because of that. But if he is on the court and he is even somewhat healthy, then they're going to be a really good team. It's just he played 19 games last year and 39 games the year before. Like, it's just not, just can't bank on that happening. And then, I mean, to tie this all back to some other teams, the Raptors, I think I'm still going to ride as my team heading into this year in terms of who I think could make a surprise. I had them last year and they ran into a bunch of injuries, but I don't love the Brandon Ingram thing, but it objectively gives them more talent, right? Quickly, RJ Barrett, Grady Dick, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Jakob Poeltl, like, they have legitimate NBA players. Like, they have enough guys to do it. But my thing with the Celtics, to tie this all the way back, since that is what we're talking about, like, Celtics, even Pacers, if you want to lump them in, like, I don't know why the Bulls are better than both those teams. The Bulls are not better than both of those teams. The Bulls are better than either of those teams. The Bulls are awful. The Bulls stink. They are going to be a lottery team. They're going to be terrible. That doesn't make any sense why they would be higher. The Bucks roster outside of Giannis is the worst roster the NBA has seen in the last 10 years. Horrendous. Awful. Embarrassment to the sport. Like, it just truly, it just unfathomable levels of mismanagement from the front office to put that team around Giannis in his prime. And then you run into the Sixers, Heat, Raptors. I think that's where the Celtics and Heat belong, like, right next to them, maybe right below them because of the uncertainty. But, like, I would put them above the Heat. I would consider putting them above the Sixers and the Rockets, depending on how you feel about injuries and how that Rockets core is going to match. Probably not. Raptors. But if I, what did I say? Rockets.
Yeah.
If I had to reshape this, I would leave Pistons, Sixers, Raptors in whatever order you want in that third tier. I'd bump Bucks, Bulls down to outside looking in tier, 5th tier. And then I'd move gap year from hell up with the Pacers, Celtics, and I put the Heat in their own tier of Eric Spoelstra attacks below that. And then I think I'd be okay with it.
I think we look at this, like, list, the 5th tier. I think it is where it is because each team, and they could go in different directions, but they have 2 paths looking them right in the face. It is either, and Boston seems like the more likely of the 2 to do this, it's either you try and be competitive with the guys you have. Like, we talked about the Keith Smith news dump on the JD video yesterday. One of the things that the exec told Keith Smith was like, yeah, like, we're going to be good this year. Like, we're not going to be as good as we've been, but we're going to be a playoff team. Like, Boston feels good about the group of guys they've got. So, in my opinion, right now, I do not think they are going to try and punt this season away. Indiana, however, could be more likely to do that than Boston. And if that's the case, then it's very possible that Indiana is worse than Detroit, Miami, Philly, Toronto, Milwaukee, Chicago. It just really depends on what they would like to do. I still think there are very good players on the Pacers, but I think Halliburton does a lot of heavy lifting for some of the role players, and I'm curious to see how exactly they progress or how they perform without him on the floor. Siakam's still an all-NBA level guy. They lost Miles Turner.
I mean,
off the top of my head, they didn't really replace him.
They didn't really replace him. They re-signed Isaiah Jackson and James Wiseman, both of whom tore their Achilles last season. So they have that
within like a week.
And they traded for Jay Huff, and so I think they believe in him a little bit.
Jay Huff's a decent player. Yes.
From the Keith Smith notes, he asked about playing with that Tyrese Halliburton. A Pacers scout said, "Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Unfortunately, wish it wasn't the case. That's life in the NBA. But we have really, really good guards. I think we have the best guard group in the NBA. Tyrese is the best point guard in the NBA, but Nembhard, McConnell, Mathurin, Cam Jones are pretty good. They'll make it work. So I still think they're confident. Like, if anything, we're talking about how, like, oh, could Peyton Pritchard finally blossom? That there's going to be more touches. Andrew Nembhard is really fucking good. Like, really, really fucking good. And if he's going to be their point guard next year, I feel good about a Nembhard breakout. Like, he could be, if you're like really want to get fun and like cheeky and look around, he could be a sneaky, like, oh, this guy could be an all-star guy in the East. Like, if you really want to get fun.
Sure.
So
Plays both ends.
I don't know, man. I think both of those teams will be better than the Heat, Bulls, Bucks. Sixers are a toss-up. Raptors.
How many wins is Giannis worth?
A lot, but the rest, if the rest of his roster is collectively worth 3, then I don't know how much he can do. Giannis is probably worth a decent amount. He'll probably, I think they'll probably be like a 35 win team.
That's it. I'm just trying to think. Like, you're not wrong. Like, the roster isn't good.
We are underrating Damian Lillard. They had a guy giving them 25 and 7 on efficient shooting all of last year. They lost that for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, they lost one of the, like, they lost a top 10 point guard in the NBA for nothing. An overpaid top 10 point guard, yes. A top 10 point guard who doesn't play defense, yes. A top 10 point guard for nothing. They lost an all-star for nothing. They lost a guy who gave them 25 points a night. 25 points gone. Top assist guy on the team gone. Like, that's bad. That he was probably like, that's probably minus 10 to 15 wins alone. They replaced a little bit of that with Miles Turner. It's gone.
They haven't really added the secondary scoring, which we talked about when all of like the Milwaukee dominoes fell at the beginning of free agency.
Kyle Kuzma is their secondary scorer.
Yeah, that's not good. Like, think about like the bet. Like, let's not even say like the best Milwaukee teams during the Giannis time. Like, let's think even before they won the title. It was like him, Middleton, and then Eric Bledsoe was there before Drew came to town. Like, that was maybe the closest thing to this, but Brook Lopez was a much better version of Brook Lopez, who, by the way, they also lost. They had Brogdon. You might be right.
This is the worst team around Giannis
he's
had since he entered his prime, by far.
And they don't even have any like draft picks to like patch holes.
Giannis's first All-Star season, 2016-17. So this is like before like he entered his true prime. They had Jabari Parker averaging 20 a night, Chris Middleton, Greg Monroe, Malcolm Brogdon. That team sucked. And they lost in the first round of the playoffs.
Yep, lost to
Toronto. This team is maybe worse than that team. Like, they don't, at least Jabari Parker averaged 20 in 50 games. Do they have another guy who can put up 20 a night? I don't think so.
Someone will do it.
No, I don't think they will.
They might do it. I don't know
20
who it's going
points
to
a
be.
night?
I don't know. What did Kuzma cap out at when he was in Washington?
I think it's going to be Giannis averaging 35 and then a bunch of other guys averaging like maybe 16. Like, I think Kuzma will maybe average 16 points.
Okay, so last year
Kuzma averaged 20 points 2 times in Washington.
I mean, we all know like the Washington teams were not great. They weren't very good. But if he can do it if the opportunity is there.
I'll say this. If Kuzma is taking 19 shots a night, Giannis should request a trade immediately on the spot. That's unacceptable. Anyways, before we continue, I need to tell you guys about PrizePicks, the best place to win. Get real money sports action this baseball season because basketball season is over. MLB All-Star break is over, so tap back in with PrizePicks. Red Sox are getting underway again now. Went 1-3 in their first 2 series, but on the road against pretty good teams in the Cubs and the Phillies. Can't complain too much. They'll get back. Unfortunately, they have the Dodgers next, so certainly less than ideal. But I've been checking it out on PrizePicks. Roman, Anthony, Ceded, Rafael, those are the guys I've been going with. But Trevor Story's been heating up too, so I've been picking more or less for him for home runs, hits, stuff like that. Make sure to tune in with the action. The app is really easy to use. You just create a lineup, and all you have to do is pick more or less than a few player stats for your shot to win 2,000 extra money. Plus, PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Sam and I do the PrizePicks every single pregame show during the Celtics season, so tap back in then when that comes around. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. Okay. Any other thoughts on this tiers and stuff and the Celtics? I mean, we were mid-conversation, but I wanted to get that in.
I'm just like thinking about, because we haven't talked about the bottom tier at all. I don't know how likely it is, but do you think I have an answer for this? Are any of these teams,
Yes.
like, do they have room above their head to maybe climb up
Yes.
a little bit? Like, do they have a ladder that they could like do like a good vertical leap and catch the bottom so they can start climbing?
Yeah, the Wizards and the Hornets. I think they have room to blossom a little bit. I mean, the Hornets more so than the Wizards.
That's
Because
where
I think
I'm
the
at.
Colin Sexton trade was fine. I think if LaMelo's healthy, it's fine. If Miller's healthy, it's fine. Their center position is about as
Big
rough
call.
as the Celtics. Yeah, but it's still bad. Not a great center position. At least they have Plumlee, so they have a little bit of, the known variable there. But the Hornets have some room. I think the Wizards have some room with McCollum and Middleton on the team if they want to play them with their young core. I think they could get some interesting games in there in Washington. I think the Bulls are way too high on this list. I think the Bulls are going to be really bad. I don't really understand. Like, I get it because like Kobe White's still there, Vucevic is still there. They're ass, man. They stink. I don't know why they're up
They
there.
have so many mediocre players on their roster. There was also, we didn't put it on the sheet, so we can talk about it briefly. I saw, I forget who the source was, and I apologize. Reports that Chicago wanted to trade Vucevic. Nobody wants him, so it's more likely that he's going to get waived by the deadline than traded.
You said they have a lot of like solid players on the roster.
I said mediocre.
Sure. Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, Nikola Vucevic. Who else?
Matt Bazelis, what if he has a little second-year leap?
The next tier of players on that roster: Modest Buzelis, Trey Jones, Zach Collins, Patrick Williams, Kevin
Noah
Huerter,
Senge?
Isaac Okoro, Noah Senge. That team sucks. They are awful. That like this is one of the few teams in the NBA where if you took away the top few players, I don't think Giannis would trade cores with them. Like I don't think Giannis would trade like that. In that, I wouldn't say that for a lot
Do
of
we
teams.
just feel obligated, like when we make lists like this, that Chicago has to be in the play-in because they are just always somehow there?
Maybe they're playing merchants. Yeah, sure. No, I can
Because
understand.
they
that.
end up there every year, and I think like if you teleport us back to July 25th, 2024, and you showed us a list similar to this where the Celtics and Pacers weren't injured, I would be like in there with you. I'd be like, huh, feels like Chicago's ranked a little bit high, don't you think? And yet
Yeah,
somehow
they had
they're
Levine
just
last
always. Yeah, well, they had him for the first half of the season.
No, I know, but if we did this last year when we were making the tier list, they had Levine.
At least I guess they had somebody who has all-star
I feel like we
level
overrate
skills.
players. Like I feel like society overrates players when they don't like their contract. This is like the damn thing. Like Levine's
Underrates
way
him,
overpaid. Underrates, yeah. Levine's way overpaid. He's still an extremely efficient 25 point per game scorer driving their offense. Like just because he's overpaid doesn't mean he's not adding to winning. Like that's by and large usually the case. Like people are still providing value to the team. They're just not
Had
good
DeRozan
enough to
been
provide
traded
the
yet?
exact value. Yeah, DeRozan. I think he went to the Kings in the summer.
Yeah. All right. Ah, man. I don't know.
Let me look.
I
Bulls
have
record
nothing
without-
interesting to say about Chicago. It's just like it's enigma. I don't know why.
I mean,
they
Josh Giddey's there
continue
too. He
to
just
do
hasn't been
this.
signed yet, so like he'll be okay. But
They might get lucky with that actually, because nobody can pay the restricted free agents. So Giddey might just be back on like a team friendly deal
I don't know, man.
for 1 year.
I
at
mean,
least.
stupid me, silly me. They were better without Zach LaVine last year. I'm gonna fuck myself. It's the Bulls. I don't get the Bulls. I think they're gonna be bad, but who fucking knows what's gonna happen at this point?
That's what I'm saying though. It's just safe bet 10th place. They'll be there. They'll be around there. They'll be thinking
All
about
right.
the play-in.
Anything else before we continue?
No, I just final. Let's see, probably Brooklyn, Charlotte, Washington, Chicago. I would say for sure worse than Boston. I'm more optimistic on Milwaukee than you are, but I understand there's no debating the guys around Giannis suck. The Pacers are in the same boat as the Celtics, so I would put them 9-10 range, like literally right in the middle where it could go either way.
Fair enough. All right, next thing. Some ex-Celtics have been moving around everywhere, so we'll round them up. We'll talk about it a little bit. First, Jaden Springer was waived by the Jazz. Ron Harper Jr. was waived by, I believe, the Pistons. Yep. And Lonnie Walker signed overseas to, where did he sign?
Tel Aviv with O'Shea.
Tel Aviv with O'Shea Brissett. So there we go. Those are the ex-Celtics going places.
Springer got waived just in time because now they can bring him back. It was all part of the plan the whole time. I stand by it, think he could be a good NBA player, but the extra opportunity didn't really help. At Summer League this year, he wasn't very good, so maybe I am just going to drown on my ship all by myself, and that's okay.
Jaden Springer is an NBA-level defender.
That's it. Yep.
Unfortunately, that's it.
He had that one game against the Clippers last year. He won the game.
He had one game, and it was cool. And hey, don't get me wrong, we were both wrong last year. Xavier Tillman is not good either.
But, yeah. I wonder what's next for him. He should just go play overseas too, because he was decent at Summer League when he was allowed to do stuff.
I don't know if he's going to be a good overseas player. Like think about the players who excel overseas. They are the buckets. They are the guys who are really good at scoring. It's Kendrick Nunn, it's Kenny Lofton Jr. It's guys who can make an impact, or freakishly tall or athletic guys like Taco Fall. I don't know where Jaden Springer fits in. I think his only chance was develop your 3-point shot, be a 3-and-D guard in the NBA like Chris Dunn.
I think
it hasn't happened.
Like a good mid-range pull-up game where he could do that stuff a little bit. He would not be as elite as some of the other players, the EuroLeague, the Chinese legends that you mentioned. He's a good basketball player. He is. It's just he needs to get the shot down. Chris Dunn had to go away for a while before he made his way back into the NBA.
We'll see, man. I hope so. I'm rooting for him. I just don't know how realistic it is.
Yeah, that Shams notification is going to hit like crack when he's back here.
Ron Harper Jr., I don't have much to say about Ron Harper Jr. Talk about a fringe guy.
Yeah, he was never quite on the roster. He was on Summer League last year and then played up in Maine.
He was good in Maine, but that's about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's too bad for him.
And then Lonnie Walker, overseas again. Yeah, he's just not that good. I'm sorry, he's just not that good.
Lonnie Walker had that incredible just first half of the season in Brooklyn where he shot 40% from three, and then after the All-Star break, he fell off a cliff, and he came here, and everyone was like, whoa. And
Yeah,
Jack was like, you guys
threats.
are all stupid. And now Jack remains, and everybody else is drowned.
People wanted me to go die because I didn't like Lonnie Walker. Who would have thought? He's not very good.
Yeah, he's too old for GMs to still be like, huh, what if we see what's left, see what we can get out of him. There's nothing.
I mean, I've said this a million times. Remember Alonzo Trier? Remember Jalen Noel? These guys don't really stick. The inefficient bucket getters who don't really play defense and don't need the ball in their hand, and they need the ball in their hands to succeed. Not an archetype teams are desperate to grasp onto unless you're that good. He's not that good. So it is what it is. Sorry, Lonnie. Hopefully,
Celtics number 12.
He is a guy. He is a guy who could be successful in those overseas because he is a good enough bucket to succeed there.
He wasn't really good last year though when he went over and played. Where did he play? Did he play at Panathinaikos or did he play somewhere else? Another green team.
Zalgiris.
Lithuania. Yeah, his numbers weren't really that efficient there either.
It's almost like he's not an efficient scorer. I don't know what else to say, man. He's not very good. I'm sorry. I hate to burst the people.
People have lit their torches. They're coming at you with pitchforks, Jack.
I'm sorry, man. All right. Last Celtics thing before moving on. Scal has joined the NBC broadcast. NBC Sports has started filling out their national broadcast teams. Actually, have done a really fun job. And Scal is on it. He's going to be one of the analysts on the broadcast. He's still going to do Celtics broadcasts, but good for Scal. Honestly, I think it's probably going to be good for him. Like, I think he's actually going to do really well because if you really think about it, the reason I know a lot of people don't love Scal in Boston is because he tries very hard to be Tommy. Like, he's trying to be this green teamer. He's trying to be this all in on the team. I don't think that's where Scal thrives. Like, I think Scal genuinely knows the game really well, like most ex-players do. And if you put him on a stage where he doesn't have to be that homer, he doesn't have to be, or at least internally, like he feels like he needs to replace this guy who was a legend. Like, I don't know. I think it could be really good for him. So I'm excited to see what he looks like on national broadcast. I think him breaking down the game is going to be good for basketball. But I know a lot of people took this and ran with it from Celtics Twitter.
Well, I want to build off like what you were saying. Like another reason why people really don't care for Scal here, at least what I see online, like aside from like my own, like, oh, I just think he's annoying sometimes, where he says like the 2-for-1 or only takes all the shit that he says all the time. He does really praise opposing players, and people don't like that. So just to your point, like on a national stage, him being high on certain guys will probably make him more appealing to opposing fan bases, or just like the NBA fan in general. The fact that he is knowledgeable, he cares about the game, he gets excited about other players that kind of coming along, developing on their own right. The roster, it's also like Austin Rivers. They have a decent crew. I like that there's more NBA broadcast teams now because we're really going to get to see who's good at it. And there's going to be maybe a really different feel to some of these games where just like the Amazon crew, Blake Griffin, Dirk, like I think that's going to be a really fun team to have at the desk talking about games, game to game. ESPN will have like probably a little bit more pressure to step up and not be the Stephen A. Perk 3-minute clips before they go to 10 commercials. I don't know.
No, I still think they're going to run that. I still think people are going to drool when they see Stephen A. Smith yelling on his TV. But I think NBC Sports Boston is shaping up to be a good competitor that provides a different type of enjoyment to watching basketball, which I personally am excited for. So I hope that this pans out well and it helps out a little bit, but I guess we'll have to see. Emails. A reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. That's hbtcpod@gmail.com. We have 4 today. I'll share my screen now to check them out. The first one we have is from RJ. Now that summer league is over, afternoon, folks, I know y'all are scrambling for content. So here's a simple ask. What are the various players and coaches between now and the start of the training camp? Are guys like Ugo and Davis and Garza working at the Airbag Center? What 5th grader is Pritchard playing pickup games against? Is Missoula playing the floor as lava with real lava? Guess the scoops that Shams won't be well. RJ, who is actually curious if anyone has news on the state of Xavier's knees. I don't have any news on the state of Xavier Tillman's knees. And I don't really know what players are doing. I mean, I assume some of them are going home. I assume some of them are – I mean, they're all going to be working out in some capacity. Jalen spent most of his summer in Boston. I think him and Tatum are both at the Auerbach Center a lot rehabbing, so they'll probably be there. But other than that, I don't really know. I assume we'll get mini updates on social media throughout the summer, but right now I don't have a ton of answers.
I know there was the clip going around of Jalen working out in Spain, so I think he might be over there right now. Like, I think a lot of these guys take advantage of having money and travel a little bit too in the summer. They're the freaks. They're guys that are just like, yeah, I'm going to be in the gym every single day. I'm going to grind. They're probably playing pickup runs that we all don't get to really see much about. They have to do something to keep in shape because you can't just show up after months of not playing basketball and be the sharpest. Like, one thing about specifically Jalen, it feels like for years he added something new to his game every year. So the main goal for guys in the offseason is just to improve, and there's a lot of work that goes into that. So even if you're not seeing footage of them in the gym like they're Ben Simmons shooting threes, it's happening. They're doing the work.
Excuse me. Yeah, all these guys are in the gym constantly at all times. Like, that's just how it is. Anyways, next email we have is from Drew, Trade, Matt, Souza. After Portland, oh my God, this is a block. Okay, hold up. After Portland took back their second-round picks, we were forced to do purely a swap. I'm curious if you guys have seen the article suggesting Brad Stevens turned down RJ and the number 9 pick in this year's draft for Holiday. I am 90% sure that report was actually it was RJ Barrett and the 9 pick for Holiday and White. I don't think that was just Holiday. I think that was both of them. And so I think they got lumped together in one rumor. I'd have to double check, but I don't think that's true. I want to start by saying I understand that the trade most likely brought back more money than we were sending out after you consider RJ's salary plus the number of the 9 pick. But with that said, we would not have traded the 9th pick or traded RJ Barrett. Do you think we would have given up a first rounder or another team to take RJ Barrett? I think there's a bigger market for RJ than there is for Simons, a small guard who plays little defense. Would it be possible to have traded the 9th pick next season if they had done the trade or in the future? I'm not sure how trades work, but I'm curious if they could have traded RJ Barrett or if they would have needed to involve another team like the Nets to get off his contract. I'm also not sure that you can trade a first-round pick for a future first-round that you can trade a first-round pick for a first-round pick in the future, but I think that package is way more intriguing than the package we got from Portland. So, yeah, I was curious to see if you guys had any clarification on if the possibility of those trades, if you think we accepted the better package, do you think we should have accepted the better package and moved off of part of the return, like accepted the Raptors proposal, moved off RJ in the pick, or just accepted the package that got us under the apron immediately from Portland? Personally, I think if we could have made it happen, I would have taken the Raptors package. I think RJ is more tradable, and if you can get the first round pick for first round pick, then I think it was clearly the better package. Okay. Wow. Let me figure out whether or not it was Derek and Drew, because I think that was the case, but I'll let you talk.
Okay. Listen, if it was RJ and the 9th pick straight up, I think they would have done it. I feel like that is just the knee-jerk reaction. I think it makes sense.
So apparently it was Zach Lowe, the Raptors made an offer, number 9 for Derek White. And then down the line, they made a similar push for Drew Holiday, offering that same 9 pick. Whoa. Toronto's were calling for the number 9 pick for Drew and Derek. So I don't know if they offered them each separately for both of them. And if that's the case, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. The quote is Toronto Raptors were calling for the number 9 pick for Drew and for Derek. I don't think Boston was ever really so interested in that selection for one of those types of guys. So maybe they just were like, they would rather the talent, but I don't know.
This doesn't make any sense to me. If that's true, all we've heard is that they want to trade Simons to save more money. If you pick 9th, you would save at least half.
Well, yeah, but you'd have to get RJ too.
Oh, you would have to take him back too.
For the salary matching, yeah.
The extension on RJ Barrett is not a good one, in fairness.
I like RJ Barrett a lot. However, I think if this is the way the Celtics did, and I trust the Celtics front office know more about the landscape of the NBA than we do. I assume they think it's going to be easier to trade Simons 1 year expiring than RJ Barrett for 27-7 this year and then 29-6 the year after that. So maybe they just believe that it'll be easier to get off of Simon's salary because it's an expiring. Getting the number 9 pick would have been cool. I wouldn't have complained at that. That would have been pretty fun to have a top 10 pick on the roster heading into the next season. So if that's the case, I don't really know why. But if their goal was to purely shed salary, then technically the Anthony Simons trade helps them accomplish that at a higher level.
We'll have to see what comes of it. Because as of now, we're talking about just, man, it would be sick to just save so much more money by trading Simons. I think it's too soon to tell if that was the right move or not. But the number 9 RJ package definitely makes it a more cloudy opinion on the Simons trade. If
it was Holiday for RJ and the 9th pick, I would have done that, in my opinion. And then I would have found a way to trade Simons and then taken come on Malawatch. You could have had Malawatch at 9.
You could have Malawatch. You could have Culmer Boyles. There's a lot of guys that are pretty good that are still on the board.
Yep. I don't know. There's a reason for everything, but we'll see. Maybe it was going to be more. Maybe you've had to attach a first or seconds or something to Drew. We don't really know about that. There could have been more involved. We'll never know. But next, Philip says, Joe don't say. Fellas, downtime is upon us again. Cursed summer.
Yes.
Cursed summer. In a similar times past, I've emailed in questions, riddles, data-driven charts, Mad Libs, choose your own adventures, tales from abroad, and newlywed game, trade menu, 10 Celtic songs. I hope once again to surprise you. Or I hope to once again surprise you. However, this
So
won't be the
excited.
email. We're doing a simple Joe Mazzulla questionnaire to get warmed up. This might be way too easy for you two who are often hearing and quoting Joe, but I thought it would still be fun for the new listeners and fans and to reminisce of our wonderful eccentric coach. Without further ado, let's play Joe Don't Say, a simple game where you try to determine what Joe did or didn't say. Keep in mind, Joe is a literal psycho. This episode is about coaching stuff. When Charles Lee was first hired by the Celtics, media asked Joe what Lee's primary responsibilities would be. Which of the following did he say? A, his responsibility is to make sure our guys know someone on the coaching staff loves them. B, his responsibility is to God and country first, not a children's game. C, his responsibility is to babysit me. D, his responsibility is to crush me when I'm not humble. I think I know the answer. I think.
My guess is A, but it could also be D. I would rank them A, D, and then the others.
I think it's C.
Oh, you think it's C?
I think it's babysit. It was between that and A, but I think it's C. Okay, well, we'll find out at the end. After a failed coaching interview, Joe gave himself some reflective advice. What was it? I have to show more desperation. Never wear a suit again. I'm pissed I did that. Fast a week before the interview. Eating makes you complacent and people sense it. I should have showed up late for the interview. When you show up early, it puts a person in a position of weakness because you are sitting when people enter the room. What do you think?
I think it's the suit.
I think it's the suit.
Yeah.
I think it's B or A, but I think it's the suit. 3, when Charles Lee left to coach for Charlotte, media members asked Joe if he had any advice for Lee. What was it? On the first day of camp, single out the team's emotional leader and make an example of them. B, you don't know anything, especially if you were in charge. C, raise your intensity. When everyone else is calm, you have to go crazy. D, everyone hates you now. Get used to it. You are no longer the shiny new toy.
This one I think is D. I think I remember
I think
D
it's D.
vividly.
I think it's everyone hates you now, yeah. 4, following March 24, Mazzulla won the Coach of the Month for the 4th time, and Derek White congratulated him. What is Joe's response? A, success is boring. B, nobody knows what goes into coaching, so the award is meaningless. C, nobody cares. D, nature doesn't give any award other than survival.
Nobody
Thoughts?
cares. Derek White's parade T-shirt.
You gotta do your research, Philip. I asked this question. Of course, I know the answer. Answer is below. Okay, so first one, you thought it was A.
D. Oh no,
Or
I thought
D.
it was A. I thought it was A.
I think it's C, but I'm gonna. We'll find out. C. Yeah, his responsibility is to
Okay.
babysit. Never wear a suit again. Everyone hates you now. Nobody cares. Yeah.
All
right. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Thanks for
Phil.
playing. Congratulations on probably getting a perfect score. Thanks to Joe for being one of a kind and a complete alpha dog, or a competitive alpha dog. All the best, Phil. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
Appreciate you.
Really fun email.
Next,
People take notes.
Rob Vera says, best trade Brad can make right now. Hi, folks. Doldrums of the offseason. Glad JD finally got waived and we're back under the second apron. Called it. Now he gets a chance to find a better opportunity elsewhere. Anyway, since there's not much news, I thought I'd share the best trade Brad can do right now to fix the roster needs. And yes, this mock trade doesn't care too much about the other team's needs, but I've tried to make it as fair as possible. The deal below isn't legal until September 7th onto the trade.
Okay.
Celtics get Vucevic, Kobe White, Julian Phillips. Chicago gets Anthony Simons, George Niang, Sam Hauser, Xavier Tillman. 2 26 second-round picks and 2 31 second-round picks. Why Boston does it? This deal gets them below the first apron, addresses the starting big need, gives them a Simons replacement, opens up a roster spot, and none of the contracts are long-term big contracts. Why does Chicago do it? Gets more shooting around Giddey and Simons, Niang and Sam. Simons essentially takes Kobe's spots, while Niang and Sam give Chicago better wings outside of Mattis. Tillman gives them a third string big to replace Vooch, while Zach Collins or Jalen Smith takes the starting spot for their troubles. They also get 4 second-round picks. How Boston does the deal? I wouldn't mind downgrading from Kobe White to Ayo Dosunmu. Or how does Boston sweeten the deal? I wouldn't mind downgrading from Kobe White to Ayo Dosunmu, adding an extra second-round pick to push the Bulls to making the deal. I just wouldn't add first because all the assets we're getting back are expiring. I prefer to target Vooch over Sabonis due to his contract. What do you think? Thanks, Rob version 1. I like this trade a lot. I would not complain at all if this trade came across the timeline. I think Kobe White's a good player on a very cheap contract. I think Vucevic would give them at least a stopgap starting center, even though I don't think it's incredible. Julian Phillips is whatever, but you shed all the salary you need to do. Losing Sam sucks. That's the only reason I might hesitate. I think that's a bigger loss than people are going to recognize. So I think if there's anything that holds me back, I'd be like, I don't think you trade Sam for this type of thing. I think you try to keep him out of it. But Vooch, Kobe White's not bad. You could probably extend Kobe White. Actually, the more I think about it, you could look back on this trade in a year and be really disappointed. Because if Kobe White wants an extension, it's probably going to be around 20 million, 25 million, 30 million a year, right? Realistically. Celtics probably don't want to pay that. And so then you end up losing Kobe White for nothing or trading him at the deadline. At that point, maybe you keep Sam Hauser in those seconds and find a different landing spot for Simons that can get you more seconds. I don't know. I don't hate it at face value. I think it's pretty good. That contingency of Kobe White's future makes me a little nervous. Ayo Dosunmu, his contract is also expiring, so it doesn't solve any issues. But you could extend it for cheaper. So I would almost rather Ayo Dosunmu, weirdly enough, just because I worry you could end up losing Kobe White for nothing. But I don't hate this trade.
Yeah, I could see it happening because we've just heard that Chicago's like whatever on Vucevic. They don't really care. His contract isn't a massive cap hit, so it's a decent avenue to the Celtics shedding salary. And honestly, if you removed everything else from this trade, just from a this year standpoint, Simons for Vucevic wouldn't be the worst thing ever for Boston. Chicago has enough guards as it is, so they probably wouldn't go for it. You'd be saving roughly $6 million. It'd be a good way to alleviate some more salary. It would be good. And then you maybe, Vucevic likes it here, you can bring him back next year on a cheaper contract because he's not getting any younger. There are ways where it could help you down the line, I think. I think there's a lot of second-round picks, too. Like, as much as second-round picks sound like nothing right now, they are kind of valuable because Boston could sign or draft guys who don't make any money. And maybe
but that's really the only reason. I mean, that plus the Sam Hauser contract. Like, the Bulls don't really have a reason to make this trade other than the seconds.
Yeah.
Realistically. And so I just don't know. I don't know. I don't hate it, but I don't know if I love it either.
Pretty good realistic trade, though. Like, if this happened, I wouldn't be like, whoa, Luka trade.
Exactly. All right, I think that's all the emails. Appreciate y'all. Next thing we got, moving on to the NBA here, is Jonathan Kuminga. There's been a ton of smoke around Jonathan Kuminga. Obviously, we've heard about it potentially holding up the Al Horford stuff. From Bobby Marks to Bontemps. Kuminga's options are limited by the lack of overall spending and the reality that the Golden State Warriors would be hard capped at the first apron if he is signed and traded. Warriors are currently $25 million below the first apron and have taken a backseat to free agency until the Kuminga situation is resolved. They currently have 6 open roster spots. A lot of work to do in Golden State. A lot of shit going on with the Jonathan Kuminga. We know that the Suns and the Kings are reportedly interested. I've heard stuff about the Bulls being a team for him with Kobe White or Dosunmu or something else happening there. Weird. Very weird situation to be in.
Yeah, all these restricted free agents are just like, what about me? Where's my payday? It's not coming because nobody has money to give you, and everyone's afraid to give out money. So you've got Kuminga, Cam Thomas, Giddey, and Quentin Grimes like as like the big ones, and they're all just kind of sitting there like, who want me? And there's just nobody. It's the meme of the dude on Instagram that puts up the poll, and all of the answers are no. That's what it is. It's mid-level exception, or you're going to take the qualifying offer, and that's going to be it. I'm very curious to see what happens with Kuminga. He's still young. I know a lot of people like don't care for him. There's a contingency of basketball Twitter that's like, well, Steve Kerr doesn't really give him any opportunities, but like Steve Kerr's also like watching. Like, he doesn't just show up to the games. He's at practice. Like, he has reason for not giving Kuminga opportunities.
Kuminga just doesn't fit in with what they want to do, man. Like,
yeah, Kuminga might be like the kind of guy that's like, he needs the ball a little bit too much to be effective.
He needs the ball in his hands. Exactly. It doesn't make sense. Like, not only that, but if you're the Warriors, you're paying Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler 50+ mil each, Draymond 20+. You're going to give Jonathan Kuminga 25 to 30 mil. Not me.
When he doesn't even regularly play.
Hell no. Yeah, I don't really want to do that at all. I'd rather save my money and pay Pajemski. I'd rather save my money and pay Moses Moody a nice little contract. I'd rather save my money and pay whoever else like comes up. I'd rather sign Al Horford. I'd rather sign D'Anthony Melton. I'd rather do a million different things before I give Jonathan Kuminga $30 million. Now, there's a trade I wrote for, I think, the King site or Warriors site, a fan site earlier this season. If you're the Kings, I get it. if you want to reset a little bit, if you want to shuffle around your roster, maybe give up on Sabonis, maybe give up on Levine and or DeRozan soon. I get it. If that's the direction the Kings decide to go in, Keegan Murray for Jonathan Kuminga, almost straight up. I like it for both teams a lot. Because I think Keegan Murray only works as like a high-end role player, and Kuminga could probably be more than that. I don't hate the I would assume Moo in another piece for Kuminga or Kobe White in another piece for Kuminga or something. I like it for the Suns a lot too. I think you're talking about trying to find darts to throw at a wall next to Devin Booker. Kuminga's a pretty damn good dart. Like he could be something if you give him the chance. Maybe that would work. You could do like Grayson Allen, Nick Richardson picks, and that'd give the Warriors a little bit of extra depth. Suns get to take a chance on somebody. Like I think there are pathways for teams who are interested in Kuminga to get him, but deals got to get done at a price that they would want to pay him.
Yeah, Kuminga really does, like, he seems like the perfect Sacramento King. Sacramento almost seems, I wouldn't say completely like it, but they are close enough to the Warriors where they're like the AAA team. They just kind of get the scraps. Like, maybe you can make something out of Kuminga if you want. Go ahead, go for it. DiVincenzo went to Sacramento after the Warriors, right? Like it was a trade. Did I make that up?
I think he was there before. I think he got traded from the Bucks to the Kings.
You are right about that.
I'll double check, but I think that was the path he went, and then he went to the Warriors, and then he went to the Knicks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the hell they're gonna do over there with this committee. Like all of the restricted free agents, I'm so excited to see what happens because it's almost gonna be like the new standard in the NBA with the CBA, and teams don't really want to spend money, and teams don't really make it a priority to have cap space because the best players don't even hit the open market. They just get traded after they sign an extension. Good luck. Good luck to the younger players. Get the bag if you can. Enjoy your mid-level exception. That's probably what it is. And for the teams, it's probably better because you don't end up having to match a crazy offer for a guy like Kuminga who doesn't even play consistent minutes for you. But that is, by all accounts, the thing holding up whatever's going to happen with Al Horford is this Kuminga situation, which doesn't seem to have an end in sight, by the way.
Yeah, it's a tough time to be a restricted free agent in the NBA. All right, rat list, Sam. Go ahead.
Rat list. I have some. I guess we'll start with this. Rat list is being like an NBA player. So this week we heard a lot from Damian Lillard, who went back to the Blazers, and he had his first public appearance at one of his camps in Oregon. And one of the things he talked about was new teammate Drew Holiday, who Drew Holiday was traded he was traded for Dame, and then Drew ended up here, of course. Dame ends up in Milwaukee, and while Dame was in Milwaukee, Drew Holiday let him stay in his house. Turns out Drew Holiday's house had shit Wi-Fi, just like my house did. And Dame was very displeased about it. He would consistently talk to Holiday about the bad Wi-Fi. And there was even the clip going around this week on Twitter where you could clearly see Dame go up to Holiday at the Garden and be like, we got to do something about this Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Tough. How's the Wi-Fi been in the new place?
Good. What do you think? Good?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
We're back. I can't even say we're back. We've arrived. We never were here before. We've
never
arrived.
Here. Let's see. I don't know what I want to rat list. I've done nothing since I got back from Vegas because I'm going back out on Friday, so I haven't been eager to I just wanted to sit here and enjoy my time doing nothing while I can because I'm going out for a week again.
You excited to go to the Cape?
Yeah, it'll be fun. I played Risk yesterday and I got fucked. that's the most I've done in these. I've played video games.
I don't know if I've ever played Risk. I've played Risk, but I don't know how to play Risk off the top of my head.
I played it on the computer. It was with some of my friends.
Oh, that actually sounds fun.
It was fun. It was good. It's fine.
Board games on the computer are probably peak because you don't have to set up all the pieces. Like, I like playing Monopoly on the Xbox. Like, you get 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah, there's no cleanup.
Yeah.
There's no cleanup. It's nice. I fuck with it. I really don't know if I have any actual rat list, though. I mean, I ordered food the other day and they forgot one of my items. Like, I really have done nothing these past few days. I know it was buy one, get one free tater tots, and I bought one and I didn't get the free one, so I was pissed.
Where did you get tater tots from?
Like Tasty Burger or something. It was like a deal on DoorDash, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good deal. And then the deal didn't come to fruition. So
I will rat list Kalen. So I have my new setup here in our apartment, and this area I'm in is like an extra kind of room we have that is like, if you saw it with nothing in it, you would be like, oh, that's a hallway that doesn't go anywhere. So my little hallway office, and we have a spare bed here for when people stay, is adjacent to the living room. And I was spending my time on Xbox the other day, and she was watching TV. I've never heard anybody watch TV so loud. Like, she had it on full blast. The neighbors were going to come over and knock on the door and ask if they could watch the show too, because they were listening. I was like, yo, are you deaf? She was like, oh, they were whispering at first. We couldn't. We had the subtitles on and it wasn't doing anything. So we got that taken.
Whenever I hear you complain about something of this variety, I can never tell if it's actually loud or if it's loud because it's a little too loud for you.
It was
Listen,
loud.
I know, but it would be a very you thing for someone to have it at like 18 and you listen at 15. You'd be like,
No. It was at 30 plus.
Okay.
It was at 36.
All right. I listened to you.
No, it was at 38, and then we put it down. It was at 30 after I turned it down. And then you were like, why don't you put it back down to 28? We'll try that. And then 26.
You gotta be careful what you rat list now. You're in the audit.
Oh, she was staring at me. She popped her head out the room and was looking at me the whole time.
Danger. I have nothing else. I could barely fathom one rat list. I don't know what else I have for you, unfortunately. I'm going to the Cape later tonight. Or I'm going home later tonight and then the Cape in the morning. Like I've got nothing.
We rat list you, actually. Well, not you.
What?
The family
For what?
trip to the Cape, because Henry is participating in said trip, and
Yeah,
now
it's not
there's
my
a
fault.
decision to be made about what we do with this college football league while he's gone.
Bro, tell him to bring his Xbox.
Okay, I will float that to him.
Just tell him to bring it. I brought my Xbox to the Cape last year.
Okay, all right. We'll suggest that to him. But we had another person in our league go on vacation for a week last 2 months ago, a month ago, and we paused it for a week, which was a mistake because now it feels like the standards we have to pause it every time someone goes away.
Yeah, I mean, he probably wouldn't be able to play a ton, but he could at least play if he needed to.
He can log on and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we'll take care of that.
I would just have him just bring his Xbox to the Cape.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. Well, I'm glad I have your permission.
Oh, I don't care. I brought mine. Last year I rebuilt Colorado State for the week.
Okay. There you go. Okay, we can do that. We'll get in touch with Henry right now.
Yes, absolutely. Please do that. I'm going to be bringing this to the Cape so I can play Balatro on the beach, and that's going to be my plan for the week, and I'm very excited about that because it's going to be a good time.
All right. I'm out of stuff.
I got nothing else. I just posted Marcus Smart to Jaylen Brown backdoor cuts highlights on the timeline. You can go check that out if you want. Celtics.
Robert Williams lobs next.
Comment if you have. I'm gonna comment it on the Twitter so I can quote tweet, and I'll do that. I can do that for sure. All right. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to How About Them Celtics, and I'll let Sam take it out when he's done commenting about Robert Williams.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you're feeling about the Celtics heading into next season. Were they appropriately ranked on the tier list or not? Let us know about your rat list. You can send them into the email, actually. We should start doing that. Fire that up again. hbtcpod@gmail.com. We'll get back to that again in the outro. Don't you worry. But subscribe to the channel. We are here every single day. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are the one after each game. Other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are up there. So if you just want the audio versions, go ahead, follow. They'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'll appreciate that very, very much. You can email us again, hbtcpod. Send your rat lists. Send your off-season thoughts. Big shout out to everybody who sent them in today. This is the prime email time. Also, Send in your bracket ideas. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Midsummer Madness. It's going to be kicking off. We're aiming for the Tuesday pod. Maybe not if there's like enough stuff to do an actual pod. But it's coming because we got nothing going on for 2 months. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook is just the name of the pod. You can find all streams there. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jackson NBA. Mine's at Samuel France NBA. That's it for us.
Tic-tac-toe. Come on.